Okay, so I have a different program here. This is like a little student organizer, and we can have the users set the skin or the look and feel of the interface. So this is the classic option and Fiesta option, and so on. The default would just get us back to the standard Windows gray. But really what I want to get at with these techniques is the dialogue about the common dialogues, which are the Windows dialogues that you've all seen many, many times. Like, for example, let's say I want the user to be able to do a custom background color, and it'll open up the Windows color palette. We can do that easily. This is not a code-intensive application at all. So you can really add just some eye candy to your program and make the interface a lot more customizable to the user with not a lot of code at all. So we'll look at some of these techniques. I'll see if I can cover a lot of techniques in this one video, but maybe I'll cut it into two if it gets too long. But here's the font. If you want to do a custom font, we've all seen the font dialog, and yeah, I think I probably have a black font there so you can't see the date, but you get the idea. And then the picture dialog. What if I want to add my own picture? And I'm not sure what I have here. Oh, but I have tons of pictures. I get one of my cat pictures. Okay, so there it is. So as I said, this is not code intensive. Here we have a menu. I talked about a menu in a previous video, and just typing out the menu options. And when you're going to open a dialog, again, I did talk in the last video about Windows users are used to certain conventions. So when you're going to open a dialog, put an ellipsis after that menu choice. I had to code that, hand type that ellipsis there. But in any case, you will go to set this up, you're going to go into your toolbox and look in the dialog section. And what I'm using in this program are the color dialog, the font dialog, and the open file dialog. And I just drop those onto the form. They'll go into the component tray. So there are my dialog controls in the component tray. So let's look at the color one first. And hang on here. Okay, so sorry, I want to get rid of that. I'll go back to the pointer. Okay, so I'm going to find that color option. Okay, so I'm going to double click this, the background color. And it's really like a 1-2 punch here. We're going to show the dialog. That's all you have, one-liner. It opens up that little dialog, that little color palette. And then when the user makes a selection, selects one of the colors from the palette, that color is stored in the color property of the dialog. As soon as the user clicks OK, the color is captured in the color property of that dialog. And then all I have to do is set the back color of the form to whatever the user chose. That's it. It's just those two lines. So the same thing with the font. Here is the code for the font dialog. Show the dialog. That's step one. Step two, the user is making those selections, the font family or the font style, the bold, and whatever else is available, the size of the font. Those options are captured and saved in the font property of the font dialog as soon as that user clicks OK. And so then that's it. We know what the user wants font-wise, and we can set the form's font to whatever that was. And then with the open file dialog, where you're allowing the user to choose a picture, where the heck, oh, there it is. Okay, so the open file dialog, we're just going to show the dialog that opens that up. And, remember me scrolling around in that open file dialog, and I found the cat picture. The full path to that picture, it was on my desktop. Maybe I don't know where it was. It was like somewhere on my desktop computer. And the full file path and the file name is going to be captured in the file name property of that dialog. Okay, that's it. All the user has to do is browse, and the choice is saved in the file name property. And then I can just plop that right into our usual image.from file, creating an image from that specific file that was located by the open file dialog, and I'll set the picture box image to that. Okay, so a lot of functionality, not a lot of code. While I'm in here, I have a couple of techniques I want to cover very quickly. We'll do this again, a multi-form. This is a multi-form application because I do have an about choice here. If I go to help and then about, so we have a second form. I've launched a second form from form 1. So now I've got a multi-form application. And well, yeah, as I said, we'll dig into this more much later, but this is not a difficult technique. For now, I'll just show you how to, I didn't code any of that, I didn't code that close button, obviously, but here, you can easily add another form. I have a form here, it's called FRM About, and it was just me designing a form like I would any other. You can add a new form, by just right-clicking on the project name in bold in the Solution Explorer, add, and then, let's see, you can even just go right to there, Windows form, okay, and that would add a new form. I'll add a new form here. I won't name it anything special, but you'll see. So now I've got 3 forms in this application. That the one I just added is garbage, obviously. So getting back to my multi-form functionality, so you add your new form, you design it as you would any other form, and now I'm going to show you the code here. This will make a lot more sense once we start diving into object-oriented in a few weeks from now. But what you're going to do is, I called that form, that second form, the one with the candy on it, FRM About. So I'm going to say FRM About, and then I'm going to create a name, just like a little throwaway name for the instance of that new form. And I called it ABT, okay? And so this is the code. Again, this will make more sense later, so I guess I won't dwell on it here. And then finally, abt.show. That's it, and that's going to open that form and show it. Okay, one more quick technique, and then this video will be over. Okay, I don't know if we've done this before yet. Let me run this. I want to demonstrate the message box, the quit box. Let me see here. Okay, so in my, where is it? I thought I had an exit button somewhere. Oh no, it's in the close. All right, watch this. I'm going to click the close button. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes or no? What if I say no, I don't quit? And then if I say yes, it ends the application. So this is a little more sophisticated than just closing down the application right away without asking the user first. So we can do this fairly easily. You know how to do a message box, okay? One thing we haven't done a lot of is playing with the message box buttons. So this is what the user sees, obviously. This goes in the title bar. And then the third argument is for the message box buttons. And so you have choices there. But I like yes, no. I mean, it really is a simple, black and white choice here. Do you want to quit or do you not? But you do have other options there. So we'll go with yes, no here. And so notice the message box. I'm not calling it by itself. Normally, in the past, we've executed a message box like this. We would just call it like that. But this is a different message box because it's giving the user a choice, and we want to capture that choice. Whatever the user chooses is going to be captured in a dialog result variable. I just called this ANS for answer. You can call it whatever you want, but I just called it ANS. And then so whatever the user clicks yes or no in that message box is going to be captured in that ANS, okay, that variable ANS. So, and then I just have to do a quick decision. If that is what's in that ANS variable is dialog result dot yes, then I'm going to close, okay, and that's it. And then that's only going to execute if it's a yes. If it's a no, nothing happens and the application stays open. So that's another technique for you if you want to add that into your programs or experiment with that a little bit. Okay. Covered a lot in this program, and I think I will end it.